It begins with the metronome, a player whose consistency and sheer physical devotion to his craft redefined the modern midfielder. A man whose journey, born in the shadow of expectation, culminated in becoming the most prolific goal-scoring figure in the history of one of England's greatest clubs. This is the chronicle of Frank Lampard, a tale of resilience, intellectual application to the game, and a relentless drive to ascend from promising youth to undisputed legend. A legend who continues to wrestle with the formidable challenge of defining his legacy anew in the dugout. Act 1. Forging a midfield engine. The beginning of Frank Lampard's story is rooted in East London, entwined with the history of West Ham United, a club where his father, Frank Lampard Sr., was an institution. This heritage was both a blessing and a burden. Born in Romford in 1978, Frank James Lampard Jr. was not simply a keen footballer. He was the son of a club legend, a connection that immediately raised the ceiling of expectation while simultaneously inviting a crippling level of scrutiny. When he joined the West Ham Youth Academy in 1994, the whispers were inevitable: nepotism. This narrative of having to prove himself, a theme that would recur throughout his career, crystallized early. While some saw a footballer privileged by birthright, those close to him saw the ceaseless work ethic. Lampard was not blessed with the immediate, explosive flair of some of his contemporaries. His gift lay in his almost academic dedication to improvement, his engine room stamina, and an uncanny ability to read the movement of the game. He possessed a relentless, almost unromantic grit that separated him from the pure stylists. His professional debut in 1996 and a subsequent loan spell at Swansea City served as a swift, grounding immersion into the brutal reality of the lower leagues. He returned to West Ham, yet the pressure did not abate. Under the management of his uncle, Harry Redknapp, a young Lampard was thrust into a first team that would become famous for its vibrant crop of English talent, including Rio Ferdinand, Joe Cole, and Michael Carrick. It was a baptism of fire that included a broken leg in 1997, a physical setback that only hardened his resolve. The definitive moment of his Hammers career came in the 1998-1999 season. Lampard became an ever-present, an essential, reliable figure in midfield, helping the club to a historic fifth-place Premier League finish and qualification for the UEFA Intertoto Cup, which they went on to win. He had developed from a boy into a powerful box-to-box midfielder, demonstrating the consistent goal threat that would become his trademark. Yet, the persistent skepticism and the turbulent 2000-2001 season, which saw both his father and uncle depart the club, paved the way for a necessary pivotal move. In 2001, a relatively low-key £11 million transfer to London rivals Chelsea marked the end of his East End chapter and the beginning of a transformation that would change English football. He had left the comforts of home to stand entirely on his own 2 feet.
And what a journey it has been so far. From the raw potential to the global stage, proving that Frank Lampard's rise was entirely earned. If you're finding this deep dive into the story behind the player as compelling as we do, I want to take a quick second to pause and appreciate your time. Crafting these comprehensive documentaries requires intense research and dedication, and your help ensures we can continue to tell these incredible stories. So if you're enjoying the narrative, please tap that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Act 2. Consistency personified. The transfer to Chelsea was the catalyst for one of the most sustained periods of individual excellence the Premier League has ever seen. Initially, he was a talented but unremarkable cog in a side still fighting for consistent European qualification. His true arrival began to coalesce in the 2003-2004 season, where he delivered double-digit goal returns, earning him a place in the PFA Team of the Year. But the true, incandescent peak of Frank Lampard's career was sparked by the arrival of Jose Mourinho in the summer of 2004 and the simultaneous injection of Roman Abramovich's investment. Under Mourinho, Lampard was perfected. He became the engine, the driving creative force, and the second striker in a double-pivot midfield partnership, most famously with the defensive shield of Claude Makelele. The Portuguese manager placed absolute trust in Lampard's ability to cover ground and, crucially, to arrive in the box at precisely the right moment. The result was a devastating synthesis of midfield control and unparalleled goal threat. The 2004-2005 season was his annus mirabilis. He was central to Chelsea's dominant, record-breaking Premier League title win, their first in 50 years. He contributed 13 goals and a league-high 16 assists, a phenomenal output that justly earned him the Football Writers Association Footballer of the Year award. His signature moment that season, arguably his career, came at the Reebok Stadium, where his brace against Bolton Wanderers sealed the title. The second goal, a breathtaking, composed run and finish that exemplified his calm under pressure. This form was sustained for over a decade. He became the definition of the modern goal-scoring midfielder. His remarkable consistency was not just about the quality of his performances, but the sheer volume of them. Between October 2001 and December 2005, he appeared in an astonishing 164 consecutive Premier League games, a record for an outfield player that speaks volumes of his physical fortitude and professional dedication. Individual brilliance was intertwined with epochal collective success. Lampard added another Premier League title in 2006, 4 FA Cups, and 2 League Cups. Yet the ultimate prize remained elusive until the legendary, improbable night in Munich in 2012. Playing without several key players due to suspension and facing Bayern Munich in their own stadium, Lampard, as stand-in captain, delivered a performance of steel, tenacity, and quiet leadership. He scored his penalty in the decisive shootout, a crucial contribution to the club's first-ever UEFA Champions League trophy. That final was not a showcase of his prime goal-scoring years, but the perfect testament to his character. The grit, the leadership, and the ultimate reward for years of unwavering service. In 2013, Lampard surpassed Bobby Tambling to become Chelsea's all-time leading goalscorer, a feat almost unimaginable for a central midfielder. His final tally of 211 goals cemented his status, forever silencing the early doubters and elevating him into the pantheon of footballing greats. The boy from West Ham had not just proved a point, he had rewritten the record books and defined an entire era for the club.
Act 3. A bridge to the next generation. The closing chapters of his playing career saw a graceful, yet slightly jarring transition. After an emotional farewell to Stamford Bridge in 2014, he spent a final Premier League season on loan at Manchester City, where, in a moment thick with dramatic irony, he scored a goal against Chelsea. It was a fleeting reminder of his enduring quality and the unavoidable nature of football's circle of life. His final years were spent bringing his star power and experience to Major League Soccer with New York City FC before hanging up his boots in 2017. Frank Lampard retired as the Premier League's highest-scoring midfielder, an unparalleled achievement. His legacy as a player is ironclad, defined by his goal-scoring genius, his incredible consistency, his durability, and his role as the talisman for Chelsea's greatest ever period of success. He was a cerebral player, famous for his attention to fitness and diet, a professionalism that became the benchmark for a generation.
Beyond the pitch, his quiet dignity and charity work have contributed to his reputation as one of the game's true gentlemen, leading to him being appointed an OBE in 2015. However, the modern story of Frank Lampard is defined by the daunting pivot to management. A promising spell at Derby County, where he led a youthful side to the championship playoff final, earned him the emotionally charged return to Chelsea in 2019. Inheriting a team under a transfer ban, his first season was considered a success, as he blooded academy talent like Mason Mount and Reece James, securing a crucial top-4 finish. It was a romantic return, but the results-driven nature of the modern game soon intervened. His subsequent sacking in 2021 and later challenging spells at Everton and a brief difficult caretaker return to Chelsea in 2023 have exposed the harsh reality of the dugout. The narrative of his coaching career, therefore, remains in flux. It is a testament to the man's dedication that he has continued to pursue this challenging path, currently taking the reins at Coventry City in the EFL Championship. This latest chapter is not about basking in the glory of the past, but about a relentless pursuit of new success, another attempt to defy expectations and prove that the intellect and drive which forged a great player can yet create a great manager. Frank Lampard's legacy is ultimately a dual one, a player whose numerical output and trophy haul placed him among the untouchable elite, and a manager who is still fighting to earn his place in the game's upper echelons. He is the ultimate symbol of the box-to-box midfielder, a player who made the spectacular seem routine through sheer hard work. His story is a masterclass in turning scrutiny into silverware.
That brings us to the end of this definitive chapter in Frank Lampard's playing career. A story of supreme professionalism, unmatched goal scoring from midfield, and the ultimate triumph in Europe. His legacy is secure. Yet, in his new career as a manager, it is still being actively defined. So, I have one final, thought-provoking question for you. Considering both his playing heights and his managerial challenges, what single word best defines Frank Lampard's total contribution to football? Let us know your answer and reasoning in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this comprehensive look at his life, please be sure to subscribe to the channel for more in-depth football documentaries. Like the video and share it with a fellow football historian. We'll be back soon with another definitive career chronicle.